Welcome to Hidden Empires, the channel that uncovers the untold stories of self-made billionaires. From toy sellers to tech visionaries, from forgotten failures to global empires, we reveal the strategies, risks, and turning points that built fortunes.
There are over 2 billion children under the age of 14 in the world today. That's more than the population of any country except India and China. And we all know what kids love: toys. So there will always be money to be made selling toys. But Cai Dongqing wasn't satisfied with just making ordinary toys. He wanted to make extraordinary money. In the late 1980s, Cai was just another street salesman trying to make a buck. He sold plastic toy trumpets to tourists visiting his hometown of Shenzhen in southern China. He didn't have much education. He dropped out of high school in the 9th grade to help support his family. But he was a natural salesman. He understood human behavior, and he knew how to connect with people. In particular, he knew how to charm parents into buying things for their kids, whether the kids needed it or not. Cai wasn't dreaming of global domination back then. He was simply trying to make a living, but every sale, every interaction was a lesson in human behavior, pricing, and the power of a product that captures a child's imagination. But markets evolve, and sometimes they evolve faster than a street vendor can keep up. Bigger manufacturers began flooding the market with cheaper, flashier toys. Cai watched as customers who once stopped at his cart now walked past to buy mass-produced versions at lower prices. He learned the hard way that when you're only selling a thing and not a story or a brand, you're replaceable. Competing on price alone is a race to the bottom, and Cai knew he couldn't win that race forever. But instead of quitting, he pivoted. He realized that to survive, he needed to sell something more valuable than cheap plastic toys. But what? The answer came to him one day when he was watching television with his son. They were watching an animated show called The Little Prince. Cai noticed that the toys based on the show were flying off the shelves. Kids wanted to own a piece of the magic they saw on TV. This gave Cai an idea. Why not make a toy that's tied to a story, a character, an entire universe that kids can fall in love with? So he started producing toys based on popular television shows like The Little Prince. But he knew that to really make a fortune, he needed to do something even more ambitious. He wanted to create his own animated shows and merchandise. This way, he wouldn't just be a small fish in a big pond. He would be a big fish in his own pond. So Cai founded Alpha Group in 1997 with the goal of producing toys and media for children. The first show he produced was called The Adventures of a Little Superman. It was a rip-off of Superman, but with a Chinese twist. The hero was a Chinese boy who wore a red cape and fought bad guys with his martial arts skills. The show was a hit, and so were the toys. Parents lined up to buy the action figures, lunch boxes, and backpacks featuring the little superhero. Cai had struck gold. He had found the formula for success: create a great show with lovable characters and then sell the merchandise. His next show was called Detective D, based on the legendary Chinese detective Renji. The show was a huge hit and made Alpha Group a fortune. Cai was on top of the world. He had become one of the richest men in China. He owned Alpha International, one of the biggest toy companies in the country. But he didn't rest on his laurels. He kept producing hit shows and merchandise that dominated screens and shelves across China. Some of his most popular shows include The Monkey King, The Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and The Legend of the White Snake. Today, Alpha Group is still one of the leading toy and media companies in China. Cai Dongqing is a billionaire. He owns luxury homes and cars and private jets. But he never forgot his roots. He still spends time at his old factory in Shenzhen, surrounded by the toys he used to sell on the street. He may have come a long way from being a street salesman, but he still has the same passion for toys and storytelling. Because for Cai, it's not just about selling a product, it's about selling a dream. I am the host. Do you want to know how billionaires think? Then you'll love this podcast. In less than 20 minutes per episode, we bring you the stories of the world's most successful people so you can learn how they built their fortunes and maybe even find some inspiration for yourself. Subscribe now and join the growing community of ambitious individuals who are striving to make the most of their lives. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.
We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe, like, and comment so others might find and enjoy these videos. Go to description below for more resources and information. Thanks for your time.